So it was myself, Cheyenne, Kara, and Mayra who went. It was all women from the Red Nation who went to El Salvador. And that was definitely something that we acknowledged because we're women standing up from our own nations all together. And it was definitely an experience. Like I felt like I felt like people at the Congress acknowledged that too, so it was very special.
I think the Congress provide a platform. First of all, let me say that the Congress was organized by people, indigenous people, and this is perhaps the first time that an event of this magnitude was organized by indigenous peoples. And I think that alone has some credit because usually folks back home are cater a lot for the government. If the government calls a meeting, we all run to those meetings. Or if the NGO calls a meeting, we all run to those meetings. If the church calls a meeting, we're all there. So this is the first time we managed to come together and do it. And I think there were a couple of subjects that were important. Women, of course, was one of the highlights. But coming to that point to do it in Nahuizalco, it was not easy, but it was, after all, it was the right place. Nahuizalco sits in the western part of El Salvador, and is actually on ancestral lands. In one of the village, which is perhaps guards their traditions, ancestral traditions today, and language is being spoken still in Nahuizalco. And the struggle of that area during the war, in previous, even before contact, that area has been really very important for El Salvador, and it's one of the Nahuatl people is one of the nations who have managed to still, even though a lot of hardships, still hold true to their convictions and to the culture, and it's amazing even today how our societies is work in this area, and how we decide to come to Nahuizalco. It was not an easy decision. We practically explore different villages and different areas where we can help the Congress. Originally was planned for, well, it was 3 days, but originally it was planned 3 different communities.
Oh.
But when we felt that the conditions were not ideal to help in different communities, and because of the situation, the political situation, specifically with the regime of exception, it was going to be very hard to move people around. And secondly, that some of the communities were not ready for really engage in this kind of dialogue and commitment that you need to put together something like that. And I want to give lots of credit to the people of Nahuizalco, to my brothers and sisters who made this happen, because I think in the Western territories, specifically the Nahuatl people who have been in the forefront of the indigenous struggle in El Salvador, and they are the majority, they seem more not only ready, but more engaging in these kind of things. Because, as I say earlier, we're ready to take this to a different level. And that's the struggle that we have right now. Unfortunately, women, because of machismo and because of other things, are having difficulties to be in position of leadership. And so we made a point to bring this issue and women's struggle up front in the Congress. And it was nice because, for instance, the sister who was there helping with this particular panel, she wants to switch it. And we say, go ahead, just do it wherever you think is the best. And we want your input into this from the not only from the she was not part of the organization, but at that particular moment where she was coordinating that event, that the women's panel, she wants to do it her way, and we say, go ahead, do it. And later on, she said, I'm really appreciative that you keep me there and you give us the leadway to organize it the way we want it. And I think giving women the opportunity to run with the project and organizing, it works. It works. It's not, there is no capable. We have women so committed and so given into organizing these type of events. What we felt, we identified quite a few women, in fact, that came to the Congress as a key element to work with and provide venues to continue to become more active. But for instance, we had a beautiful sister, young, beautiful sister, smart, at the very beginning of the organizing. And I keep saying, as the meetings continue, because we met every Sunday, and it was amazing because one of the things that impact me most is the level of commitment that my brothers had for this event. And we're not talking people, rich organizations. We're talking about people who cultivate the land, who do other things, odd jobs here and there. And they came religiously every Sunday to the meetings. Mm-hmm. So this sister suddenly disappeared. She did no longer show up. So I asked one of the members of her organization what happened with Susana. We say, we don't know. She's no longer coming. Haven't heard from her, And weeks went on, and I keep asking because she, in the very first meeting, she spoke so eloquently, with such convictions, that it was really, really amazing. And I was really moved. I think Jose too, she met her and other folks. And we did want her there. But it turned out that I think that her work, it doesn't allow her. She's a single mom. She has, her father is sick. She's probably one of the very few providers for her home. So, and she works the whole week, no break. So if our women's and our sisters and aunts and mothers don't have the opportunity and haven't had the opportunity to be leaders and to lead and having positions of leadership because of the conditions of our life back home, it's going to be very hard to get women in the forefront. And I want to make a plea that for the people who are in the Congress, that find a way to to help our sisters back home. Because, yes, as Jose was saying, they should be upfront, but also it's the ones who are suffering the most of all this violence. You know, the amount, just the laws in El Salvador is just amazing. You can probably get, for abortion for a woman, you can get to 30 years or to life just to have an abortion.
Or miscarriage.
Or miscarriage. So it's a very strict law, one of backwards laws, and it's still there. And it's still not only punished by the nation state because her condition as a woman, she's discriminated, and you know the story well. The same thing that happened in the Southwest and in Canada. You know, it's embarrassing that this so-called democracy still mistreat Indian women the way they do here. So back home, it's even more dramatic. And so I do want to make a plea of everybody who was in the Congress to take a little closer look to the condition of women back home, because we need all the support we can get.